Going to call our regular meeting on Monday, August 26th at 6:32. The mayor will be a few minutes late, so I will start the meeting off. So we're going to call this meeting to order at 6:32. And this land acknowledge statement. As we gather, we are reminded the township of Riversburg Cardinal is situated on a traditional territory of Indigenous people, dating back countless generations, which is rich history and home of many First Nations. Made it in Inuit people today. As a township, we have responsibilities for the stewardship of the lands in which we live, work, play, and today this meeting place is still home to the Indigenous people. We're grateful to have the opportunity to work on and call this land home. Number 3, may I have the approval of the agenda? Moved by Mr. Ward, seconded by Mr. Smell. Any additions to it?
Not here.
No, okay. But that's not the one I have.
All in favor? Thank you. Disclosure, pecuniary interest, and conflict of interest in general, the nature thereof. Is there any?
Here.
Here.
Okay. Our next one is number 5. We have delegations for Jill Power request supporting the Narcan electric vehicle application. And who's going to go first? Or is it just you? Just you?
It's myself and my colleague Lara Coombs, who is on there.
Yes. Okay.
And if, with your permission, is that Deputy Mayor, we are happy to proceed.
Thank you, Mrs. Sedan. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. So I think we've kind of met before, but it seems like it was a familiar presentation when we kind of requested permission of the council to install charging stations and seek funding from the Ontario Charge On program, which was a program that was funded by the Ontario government. So we have put in 4 applications with the sites that were previously selected by the township for application with the Ontario program. However, we have not heard anything as yet. I think that program is still under review. In the meantime, there has been an opportunity to seek similar amount of funding from the federal government through the Natural Resources Canada's program called Zero Emission Vehicle Infrastructure Program, the ZEVIP program. So I think what we are seeking is a similar support letter to apply for funding for the same sites that we had previously sought funding for the Ontario government, to seek similar funding from the federal government. The deadline for submission of these applications, I believe, is mid-September. So we would prefer to have something in to the federal government before that time. I think that's basically it. Otherwise, the setup of the charging stations, the compensation to the township, everything is exactly the same as it was for the Charge On program that we had applied for.
Any questions? Okay, thank you. We have an action item for you under 10A, so it'll be brought forward tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, sir.
And just one other quick thing. There's in addition to that, we need a site access form for the 4 sites. The Natural Resources Canada requires that as part of their application. So we had the similar thing for the MTO EV Charge On program, and we need the exact same thing for the NRCan program.
So you need a site where it's going?
So it's a support letter, and then we already have the addresses, and I can send along, the site access form with the address on it, and we just need a signature. It doesn't need to be the mayor. It could be the CAO. I know some municipalities have had the clerk sign it. It's really up to you guys. It's just this giving us permission to go onto the site.
Good. Thank you. You'll get that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your
Would you
time.
would you like us to stay or?
It's entirely up to you, but you don't need to. If you don't want to, it's up to you.
Right.
Okay,
If there are any questions at all, we are available. But the federal program has been going on for a few years, and the information is available online.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. Consent agenda items listed in the consent agenda is considered routine, no longer discussion, and then enact in one motion. The exception is a rule is that a member may request that one or more items be pulled for discussion and voted on separately. Is there any one? It's only 7A, I guess, regular council. You want to pull? Nope, we're good. That was an easy one tonight, yeah. Okay. Minutes of the previous council meeting. Yes, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Okay, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Waddy Smale that municipal council receives and approves the following consent agenda items as presented. A, regular council, July 22nd, 2024.
Thank you. And we're moving on number 7, minutes of the previous council meeting, sorry.
Through the chair, now that the consent agenda has passed.
Yep.
You move on to 10A.
Action information items, thank you. 10A is Drill Powers.
I have that one.
Okay,
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Waddy Smale, that municipal council authorize the mayor to execute a letter of support for the installation of Juul's EV charging infrastructure and direct staff to submit necessary documents to support application submission under the NRC CAN program for the pre-selected locations.
thank you. Any questions or comments on this?
No, I mean, I guess just a comment, the easier it can be for people to install some EV stations in our township, the better. And as far as I'm concerned, this makes it easier for them. So I'm in support of this for sure. So
Yes, any other questions? Go ahead.
I like through the chair that we have the opportunity to talk to possibly changing the locations or altering them, because I'm not 100% sure that a charging station at the Spencerville Arena is gonna. I'd rather see something downtown, so we're driving people to, you know, to the retail market, so that we get a little more bang for our buck.
Would you like me to say something about that?
Yeah.
Sure. So NRCan is extremely flexible with changing the address. So the important part is to get all 4 sites in as an application, and then Natural Resources they're extremely flexible, and so are we. So it's easily done.
Good.
And I agree with you with putting one downtown.
And my concern is that we're on this subject is I don't think we need any down Cardinal waterfront. We have enough congestion in there sometimes with boats and things going on in the summer. Has anybody contacted Kevin Burchell to put one in their parking lot?
Through the chair, our initial conversations with this, if you remember back in November, December of last year, we were hearing the 2 locations that we owned and we could manage down the road for.
Okay. I think that's something we should look at.
Okay. If you have a 5th address that you want to put in, and maybe even a 6th address with this parking lot that you mentioned, we are more than willing to do that. So you can add on, it doesn't have to be these 4 sites, so you can add on other sites like the downtown location and this other parking lot.
Thank you. Mr. Grant?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think that the key item would be supporting the application.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we expect will be a successful application. We'll be able to fine tune those locations that work the best.
Great. Any other questions, comments for Paul? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Done.
Thank you very much. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
10B, Community Future Grenville.
I also have moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Waddy Smail, that municipal council endorse the submission of an application to Community Futures Grenville Community Economic Development Initiative for funding to support additional community engagement.
Thank you. You're welcome. Any questions, comments on this one? Please.
Sure. So just for clarity, this is us asking for some funding to help us with our process of redeveloping our CIP. Is that through the chair, what I'm understanding is exactly? Perfect.
You want to speak on it, Wendy Lowe, or?
I can, sure. So through the chair, we are planning to update our community improvement plan. We've been talking about this at community development for some time. I know this is long overdue. It's an item on our strategic plan also, so we're excited to get started on this. We're preparing an RFP to get started and find an agency that can partner with us and help us with that project. We know that CF Grenville is going to be a great partner with us for this project. They've helped out with a lot of other municipalities' CIPs. They also have a grant that would help us with $3,000 towards the project. We've got a larger budget than $3,000. Their grant would cover 50% up to a maximum of $3,000. Through initial conversations with the staff, we know that they want to know what is their money going to, a part of the project, like what value would their contribution add to it. So we know to make a strong application, we've got to include that and give them that information. What we've decided on is to enhance our community engagement part of that process. We know the Planning Act requires us to have at least one public meeting before we adopt a community improvement plan, but we think we can do a lot more through focus groups and through surveys, or depending on what agency and what their proposal is for helping us with this plan. You know, there may be some added costs if we want them to help us with added community engagement. So exactly what that looks like right now is a little undefined. I apologize for that, but as we prepare the grant application and the RFP, we know that that's what we want to focus on.
Good. That will help us for sure. Great.
Just one more, if you don't mind, and it's more of a statement than anything else. But I did like the approach. It seems we were taking a more collaborative approach with the public to try and engage them as you just talked to do that. And I thought what a good step that is to try and you know, get not only what we want out of it, but also to get the voice of the public involved in this as well. So appreciate that.
Miss Wendy, go ahead.
Apologies.
No, keep going.
I just wanted to thank Mary Tessier, who's going to be leading this project for us and help prepare this agenda item in our RFP. So
we're in real good hands. Oh, great.
Very involved in the community, and I know our great outreach is going to
real good hands. Great. So I have a motion. This Pilot Council endorse the mission, the application, Community Future Grenville Community Economic Development Incentive for funding support, additional community engagement. All in favor? Carry. Great. Okay. 10C. We have, who has 10C?
Councillor Ward.
Councillor Ward? Yep.
Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Waddy Smail, that Municipal Council recommend in favor of 1. Severance applications B87-24 and B88-24, and 2. Severance application B89-24 with the following conditions. A, that a hydrogeological assessment and terrain analysis be completed by a qualified professional to demonstrate that the site conditions are suitable for the long-term provisions of private services with no negative impacts or cumulative negative impacts to the environment or public health resulting from the use of on-site private water and sewer services to the satisfaction of the township. And B, the owner enters into a development agreement with the township as required by the township to implement the conditions of the hydrogeological assessment and terrain analysis.
Thank you. No problem. Questions, comments? Here. Mr. Martel, Mr. Ward.
So on B88-24, that's going to become one sliver, including the recipient lot. Is that how I read this?
Through the chair, correct, that's just a lot line adjustment, so it's giving some land to 6008 Hurley Road.
Gotcha. Okay, that was what I had there. Otherwise, I didn't see a lot to this, except everything was sort of the combined property B 80-24. That becomes greater than the 2.4 acres, so you don't need a hydrology study. Is that what that's all about? Or it's because the dwelling is already there?
Through the chair, it is existing. Also, it's making an undersized lot larger, so it,
Right.
It is improving the situation. But correct, it wouldn't qualify based on the policy that we set through that resolution because it is already developed.
Okay, perfect. Okay, good. That's all I had, Mr. Mayor, or Mr. Deputy Mayor, sorry.
Thank you. Question, why is the retaining land of 4.82 with that BA 924?
Why, sorry, could you repeat that? Why is the retaining, why is the retained land so large?
Yeah,
So,
well, yeah, why are we retaining it?
yeah, so to the chair, there's a livestock facility next door, like just to the north of this parcel. So we did minimum distance separation for that livestock facility and found that a new lot needs to be at least 162 meters from that livestock facility. But OMAFRA's guidelines for minimum distance separation also allow you, when you've got a lot that's larger than 1 hectare, you can measure the minimum distance from the livestock facility to a 1/2 hectare building envelope on the lot. So that's what they've done. They've made it the lot large enough so that there would still be at least a 1/2 hectare building envelope on the lot that would meet the minimum distance required.
And that place next to me, you're calling it a livestock facility?
Yes.
I know that place. Pardon?
To the chair, they have a hobby farm on the lot.
Yeah, I think they have 2 chickens or 3 chickens. Maybe a cow, I'm not sure, but, and that's what that's classified as?
To the chair, I don't have the minimum distance separation was done by standard plan.
Right.
I don't
Okay.
have the forms on me now, but I do have them in the file if you want me to follow up.
No, that's fine.
How many?
I'm just curious because I know the property and I didn't think he had any livestock, so. But obviously he does.
I did visit the site and I think there's more than a few chickens on the
Okay,
site.
okay, fine. And I just got one more, and as you know, why hydrological assessment on that one?
So to the chair, there is our policy for when a hydrogeological assessment and terrain analysis would be considered a reasonable condition of severance. Says that if a lot is undeveloped, if it's under 1 hectare, and if it's on private servicing, it would be a reasonable condition of severance. And we made those guidelines based on the Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks D54 series guidelines. So that lot is 0.74 acres, and it's unserviced, or it would be on private servicing, and it's not developed. So it's just for that one severance, the B8924 severance, that we would apply that condition to.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions?
None here.
Have a motion in front of us. All in favor? Carried. I do my homework. Now, on this particular one, this goes to counties. Now that, oh no, we gotta wait till the end of the month.
To the chair, so because we're at council's gonna make a recommendation to counties. So as soon as I have that signed resolution, I can fill out a form, send it to the counties, and they'll schedule a public hearing for it.
Oh, good. Okay, that's all. Good. Want to know. Good. Thank you. 8D, application for site plan. That one is
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith has that.
Yes, sir, I do, Your Worship.
And I just want to hold on. This is for Annabelle Design on Shanley Road. Is that right? 161-163.
It's Dennis Summers.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay,
Which one? The one I got?
Smart.
Yeah, Summers, Dennis Summers.
okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Joe Martell, the municipal council enter into a site plan control agreement with Dennis Smart.
Thank you. Any questions, comments on that one?
I just have one.
Shoot.
And I could be getting my meetings mixed up. But with regards to the privacy screening or the fence, was this not a property where one of the neighbors wanted the privacy fence, or was that, but now they don't want it, or is it a different neighbor that does?
Through the chair, at the public meeting for the zoning bylaw amendment, a neighbor at the other side, I think they were on Marjorie Street, had asked for a fence, and we added that provision into the zoning bylaw. We said anywhere there is a parking area in our zoning bylaw has to be at least 2 meters away from the property line or residential property. We said anywhere that a parking area is going to be less than 3 meters, because we're allowing it to be 0, you have to put up privacy fencing. We also applied that to the commercial side of the property, where there wasn't anyone from the public there to speak to it, but it was a good provision to add. We added it there. The applicant did review the zoning bylaw before it was passed. We were all in agreement. This is a good zoning bylaw. Now that we get into the site plan stage, we're looking at the site plan, and through conversation with this neighbor, the applicant has shared with us that this neighbor would rather not have the privacy fence there, and they both agreed that they would be happier if it were not there. It would allow them to share with the maintenance and the snow plowing, and I think sometimes the parking is shared from the commercial lot. So really unfortunate, but it is a zoning requirement. We can't approve a site plan if it doesn't comply with our zoning bylaw. So that could be fixed through a minor variance would allow the privacy screening in that area to not be there anymore. We also wrote in the draft agreement that's later on in your agenda tonight. We wrote that removing the privacy fence, as long as it complied with the zoning bylaw through an amendment or a minor variance, would not require an amendment to the site plan control agreement. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for them to change that, but we wouldn't approve a site plan if it didn't comply with the zoning bylaw.
Okay, so one neighbor wants the privacy screening, there's going to be that for them, and the other one does not.
Yes, yeah, we'll just have to go through that planning that process to meet that requirement. So it's shown on the site plan today, so that we can approve it. They may apply for a minor variance later on.
Okay. And let's just say fast forward 5-10 years down the road, and there's somebody else has moved into that place where they didn't want the privacy fence. That doesn't matter. That's now the law, and that's just the way it is. Is that a true statement?
Through the chair, do you mean if someone moved in later and they did want it?
Yeah, let's just say that they sold the property 10 years down the road, and then the person who just purchased it would like to then have the fence. It's too late for that point in time, right?
Well, if it's not required because they got a minor variance, then no, it wouldn't be.
Thank you very much.
Through the chair.
Mr. Snow, go ahead.
Through the chair to Councillor Ward and Wendy. I believe the property of that person is for sale right now. It doesn't want fence on Adelaide Street. I just have to see it today, sir. On Shanley or Adelaide Street?
165 Shanley, that would not be privacy.
Oh,
So, yeah, I think just, if I could, Mr.
Go
Chair,
ahead,
clarify.
Mr.
So,
Grant. Yes.
At the public meeting, the resident on Adelaide Street that was adjacent to the vacant area certainly wanted a privacy fence. This one we're talking about is on Shanley Road, where basically the house directly aside has just a narrow driveway.
But Mr. Grant, the one on Natalie, we're still putting a fence up for them?
That is something that's still.
Okay, it's one on Shanley.
Correct. What we're talking about right now is what.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was the one on Natalie.
No.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Todd, council in the site plan control agreement with Dennis Meyer. All in favor? Carry. E,
I have that one,
10
Your Honor.
E, okay.
Moved by myself, second by Councillor Waddy Smale, that municipal council enter into a site plan control agreement with 2506418 Ontario Inc.
Good. Any comments, questions? Mr. Smell,
Down here.
Shovels out.
Mr. Ward,
No, I was like that something was happening in that area there, and pleased to be moving it along for sure as well.
I'm very happy to see this. Wow. Good work, whoever got them on that one, sorry. Municipality Council in the site plan agreement with 2506418 Ontario Inc. All in favor? Good. That was one.
They were on real line by then.
Sorry?
I said they were more, but they got mine as well.
That was good.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
10F.
Fine. Oh. All right, moved by myself, and seconded by Councillor Waddy Smale. It's popcorn here. Whereas on March 22nd, 2022, the federal and provincial governments announced a funding agreement that will reduce the cost of childcare in Ontario to an average of $10 per day by 2026. And whereas the for-profit, not-for-profit quotas 30 to 70%, mandated in the agreement, artificially limits the number of licenses that can be given out and therefore limits the childcare spaces that can be created. And whereas families are being forced to wait for $10 per day childcare, even though there is unspent budget for unrealized not-for-profit centers due to a lack of not-for-profits applying. And whereas the changing ratios could unlock thousands of new $10 per day childcare spaces immediately. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Municipal Council of the Township of Edwardsburg Cardinal hereby requests the federal and provincial governments to fix the archaic not-for-profit quotas in the agreement, and further that Mayor Tory Deschamps writes a letter on behalf of the Corporation of the Township of Edwardsburg Cardinal to the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, AMO, and the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, FCM, asking them to advocate for the change to the for-profit, not-for-profit ratios, and further that this resolution be circulated and brought to the attention of Michael Barrett, Member of Parliament, Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands, Rideau Lakes, the Honourable Jenna Sudds, Minister of Families, Children and Social Development, Right Honourable Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, Steve Clark, Member of Provincial Parliament, Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands, Rideau Lakes, the Honourable Jill Dunlop, Minister of Education, and the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario.
Thank you. Any further discussion on this one? We've talked about what we want to do, and we need some help from the government. So, who moved it?
I moved it. I was moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Smale. Did I not sign? Oh, no, it's because I only signed the first page. I thought I had to do that. It's okay. That's fine. Are you asking for questions, Mr. Deputy, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, is there any questions, comments on this?
I'm good.
So I just thought this was, and it's more of a statement again, but it was an eye opener because I know that we keep talking about these spaces, and then I didn't realize that it was the 70-30 split that's been put out there for the profit versus not for profit that's actually causing a limitation. So I'm really glad that first of all that I was asked to forward this, and I'm really glad that we've got it before us to discuss, and I'd like to move it along. So thank you.
They go a little quicker than doing other things, but I'm not sure. So yeah. Anyways, so all in favor? Carried. Now, 10G.
I have that.
Yeah, I know, but I need some help because I don't have it on my laptop. I don't know why it's.
Mine went blank as well at some point.
Is yours blank too?
Let's see if it's still blank.
Yeah. Seeing private crossing?
Yeah, see, whenever I highlighted my text is just.
Yeah, we got nothing.
That's good.
You got page 40.
Yeah,
So
I have the port assessment, but
on page 40.
Page 40 of the agenda.
I got nothing.
To refresh. If you've had the same document open for long periods of time, and you've highlighted and you've closed out or not closed out, you may just have to refresh it again.
well, I'm just gonna take a hard copy if there's one available. Is there one available? I don't understand. Is there? I don't understand because I have everything wrong. Thanks. You're welcome.
Ready to go with you, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, go ahead.
Moved by myself and second by Councillor Waddy Smale. Whereas the Government of Canada through Transport Canada's grade crossing regulations SOR 2014-275 as amended, specifically section 75 regarding private grade crossings require that existing grade crossings that is a private grade crossing must meet additional requirements outlined in the regulation beginning on November 28, 2024. And whereas due to these amendments to the grade crossing regulations will require significant safety enhancements for specific private railway crossings, including those located on private properties within the township of Edwardsburg Cardinal. And whereas CN Rail is actively seeking an exemption for the private grade crossings for relief from the requirements of these regulations, and whereas if Transport Canada does not support the exemptions request, the private property owners with private grade crossings will be mandated to complete the upgrades, including the installation of an automated warning system with gates, and whereas CN Rail estimates that the necessary upgrades may cost each private railway crossing owner upwards of between $600,000 to $2 million, depending on the cost of installation of each automatic gate system and additional annual maintenance cost of $9,685 for the required equipment pursuant to the Canadian Transportation Agency Guide to Railway Changes for Crossing Maintenance and Construction. Now therefore be it resolved that the Municipal Council of the Corporation of Township of Edwardsburg Cardinal urges Transport Canada to reconsider the amendments to the grade crossing regulations SOR/2014-275 due to the financial challenges these required upgrades to each private railway crossing will have on private property owners across Canada. And further, that Municipal Council of the Corporation of the Township of Edwardsburg Cardinal supports CN Rail's continued request to Transport Canada to obtain exemptions for private railway crossing upgrades. And further, that this resolution be circulated and brought to the attention of Michael Barrett, Member of Parliament, Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands, and Rideau Lakes, Steve Clark, Member of Provincial Parliament, Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands, and Rideau Lakes, the Right Honourable Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, the Honourable Pablo Rodriguez, Minister of Transport of Canada, Roma and Amo.
Good one. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Questions, comments?
Yeah, I mean, it's shocking when you look at the cost that could be incurred by an owner of a property that basically has a you know, I guess it's not really a road, like an actual private crossing. I guess is the best way to say that. $600,000 to $2 million, and then $10,000 a year. you know, it just makes you wanna yell at this whole process, so, you know, I'm glad we're doing we're putting something out there, hopefully it, you know, rings home with somebody and they stop this, because this is just, this is not good, and it's not fair to people, to be honest, so.
Mr. Smith, through the chair to the chair, we were talking, when we were all together up with the delegation. Did we ever find out how many we do have in our township?
No, there's 96 from Kingston to Montreal. That's what he has in his list. He's a district manager in this area, so I don't know exactly. And some have letters and some don't.
Oh, okay.
Okay, some have letters, some don't.
You know, through the chair, I agree with Councillor Ward. It's ridiculous. We should be. It's not worded strong enough. I would have threw some curse words in. We should be calling every second day saying, "Hey, did you get our letter? What are you doing?"
Well, and I have been with Mr. Barrett, because it's not the CN. They're the messengers. Don't shoot the messengers. It's the federal government of Transport Canada who wants it. And the trouble is, it's November of 2024. They're making this mandate. They're trying to, and it's been canceled twice before they put it off. And I'm not sure if they're going to do it the third time. Maybe with more of this, they will look at, because don't forget, it's across Canada. It's just not here in Ontario or in our little area. It's right across Canada. So it takes in a lot of farmers, and some of the farmers, I think in question period, maybe Mr. Hugo Phil said, they're only over there maybe twice a year. Once to plant, once to take the crop off, you know, as a rule. So.
Yeah, my point exactly. It's
yeah.
ridiculous. We
Oh,
have
sure.
to be very
absolutely. No one did their homework on this one. So, anyways, and any other questions, comments? Nope. All in favor? Carry. Actually, I think, can I call a recorded vote on this now? Or no?
Sorry, it was voted on and carried.
Okay. That's fine. 10H, fourth assessment of lease.
Here I am again.
42.
Moved by myself, second by Councillor Waddy Smail, that municipal council approves the following. A, that an assignment of the current lease known as P-42 be completed, which includes the removal of Jeff Barobe from the lease and the addition of Judy Barobe to the lease, and that the assignment agreement be executed by the Port GM, the mayor, and the CAO of the township.
Thank you. You're welcome. Any questions, comments on this one? It's a 20-year lease, and they're just taking one name off and adding on another one. It's 2014, so pretty straightforward. All in favor? Karen? Correspondence, Mr. Snell.
Yes, thank you, Deputy Mayor. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Joe Martel, that the municipal council receives the correspondence listings for the following dates as previously circulated: July 25th, 2024, July 31st, 2024, August 7th, 2024, August 15th, 2024, August 21st, 2024.
Thank you. Correspondence we get every month. All in favor? Carry. Court disbursements.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Waddy Smail, that municipal council receives and approves the payment of court invoices circulated and numbered as follows. Withdrawal total $140,964.49. Batch 23 checks, $26,655.25. Batch 24 EFT payments, $870,337.56. Total of direct withdrawal and batch listings, $1,037,957.30.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Questions, comments? Nope, on the disbursements.
We're just making regular payments, it looks like, for the
Uh,
ongoing construction at the.
yeah, I signed them today, actually,
Perfect.
so. All in favor? Carried. Number 13, municipal disbursements.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Waddy Smail, that municipal council receives the payment of municipal invoices circulated and dated as follows. Report dated July 30th, 2024-126 for $220,836.62. Report dated July 30th, 2024-127, $123,419.47. Report dated August 14th, 2024-133, $133,442.60. Report dated August 15th, 2024-134, $382,133.63. Report dated August 19th, 2024-135, $217,470.46. And report dated August 21st, 2024-136, $39,812.81 for a total of $1,117,115.59.
Thank you. Any questions, comments on the disbursements? Mr. Smail?
None.
Mr.
No, sir.
Martel? Pardon me?
No, I'm good, thank you.
And Mr. Ward?
No, I didn't see anything that stood out. It was a lower month than we've seen in a while, so it was actually good to see that, so.
Just because it's summertime.
I think so.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Uh, 14A, people, appoint interim chief building official.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Joe Martel, that the mover be granted leave to introduce a bylaw to appoint an interim chief building official, and this shall constitute first and second reading thereof.
And this is our new, well, he's not new, but it just makes it official that he becomes our chief building official, is that right?
Through the chair, it's just another cleanup because we already had him appointed for a number of years as a backup to our previous CBO, as well as a backup to a building inspector. Now that we have made it public that he is our interim CBO, we felt just to keep consistency sake to actually update for this, to actually call him the interim CBO in the appointment, so that way he has full scope without having to be a designate.
Good. So we heard that. Any questions, comments?
No, all good.
All in favor? Carried. B, the tenants.
I need 14.
Sorry.
Third reading. Third reading.
Oh, third, sorry, go ahead.
No problem. Move myself, second by Councillor Joe Martel, that a bylaw to appoint an interim chief building official be now read a third and final time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 2024-41.
Thank you. No questions, comments on it? All in favor? Third reading, carried. 14C, amend 2023-06 livestock investigator.
Through the chair, we're on item 14B.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Tenancy assessment, please, P42.
That would be me, your worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Joe Martel, that a bylaw to authorize the mayor, CAO, and port general manager to execute the tenancy assignment and consent to assignment for a lease agreement for port property number P-42 be now read a third and final time. I guess I'm reading that last one first. You will have to redo it again. Sorry, people. My apologies. That the mover be granted leave to introduce a bylaw to authorize the mayor, the CEO, and the port general manager to execute the tenancy assignment to consent assignment for the lease agreement for port property number P-42, and this shall be constitute the first and second reading thereof.
Thank you, Mr. Smale. Comments, questions on the first and second reading? Nothing. Please go forward on the third.
Thank you, your worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Joe Martel, that a bylaw to authorize the mayor, CAO, and the port general manager to execute a tenancy assignment and consent to assignment for a lease agreement for the property number P-42 be now read a third and final time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 2024-42.
Thank you. Third reading. Questions, comments? All in favor? Carried. Now we go on to 14C, amendment 2023-06 livestock investigator.
Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Waddy Smale, that the mover be granted leave to introduce a bylaw to amend bylaw 2023-06 to appoint members and representatives of certain boards and committees, and this shall constitute a first and second reading thereof.
Thank you. Any questions, comments on bylaw? First and second? All in favor?
So, actually, sorry, I had one, sorry about that.
Okay.
Does this leave us without a livestock agent then, or do I?
Through the chair, no. During the 2022-2023 recruitment process, because we have had used instances in the past where we're left high and dry, trying to find somebody that has some level of expertise in this, which is far and few between. We had a second appointment of John Hunter.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. That's all I have, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Any other questions, comments in the first and second reading? None. All in favor? Carried. See you doing the third reading, please.
Okay. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Waddy Smale, that a bylaw to amend bylaw 2023-06 to appoint members and representatives to certain boards and committees be now read a third and final time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 2024-43.
Thank you. Questions, comments on the third reading?
Down here.
Oh. Congratulations, John. All in favor? Carried. Uh, 14D, site plan control agreement, 161-163 Shanley Road.
Thank you, your worship. Moved by myself, excuse me, seconded by Councillor Joe Martel, that a mover be granted to leave to introduce a bylaw to authorize execution of a site plan control agreement with Dennis Simard, and this shall constitute a first and second reading thereof.
Okay, so anyone have any questions, comments on the bylaw?
We've already had lots of discussion on it.
Yep.
Good.
Look. Got the fence back in, so. Let's just now proceed with the third reading. Oh, sorry. Sorry. All in favor? Carried.
Thank you, your worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Joe Martel, that a bylaw to authorize the execution of a site plan control agreement with Dennis Simard be now read a third and final time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 2024-44.
Thank you. And lots of discussion on that. Any questions, comments on the third reading? All in favor? Carried. E site plan control agreement, Newport Drive, Purple Farms.
I think I do.
That's you.
Yeah. Thank you, Your Worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Joe Martel, that the mover be granted leave to introduce a bylaw to authorize the execution of a site plan control agreement with number 2506418 Ontario Incorporated, and this shall constitute a first and second reading thereof.
Site plan control agreement. Questions, comments on the first and second? Discussions on that?
Yep.
All in favor? Carried. Proceed with the third reading, please.
I do, Your Worship, thank you. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Joe Martel, that a bylaw to authorize the execution of a site plan control agreement with 2506418 Ontario Incorporated be now read a third and final time, passed, sealed, and numbered 2024-45.
Thank you. Comments, questions? Third reading? All in favor? Carried. F, appoint a bylaw building inspector.
That would be me, Your Worship. Thought somebody said something to us, Doc.
No,
Thank you.
you're on the go.
Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Joe Martel, that the new mover be granted leave to introduce a bylaw to appoint a building inspector for the Township of Edward Cardinal, and this shall constitute a first, second reading thereof.
Thank you. Questions, comments?
So maybe it's just me and I'm missing it somewhere. My agenda goes right from 14E right over to the CAO's report, so I don't have any information on this one, and I just don't know.
So through the chair, we provided an updated email around 3:30 today. With the updated agenda attached for this item. It was mostly just the clerical that a couple of us got through today found out that our current building inspector was appointed through contract agreements, but it was never formally done at council. So we're retroactively doing that to cover all of our bases. He's appointed through our agreements in this contract, but this is just a formality just to make sure all the I's are dotted and T's crossed.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Through the chair, the clerk just being nice. It was one of those ones that I missed.
And we got it, so no harm.
That's right. That's all good, the team.
Yeah, that's right. So any questions, comments on the mishap? Good. First and second reading? Sorry. All in favor? Carried. I'll proceed with the third reading, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Joe Martel, that a bylaw to appoint a building inspector for the Township of Edwardsburg Cardinal be now read a third and final time, passed, sealed, signed, and numbered 2024-46.
Thank you. Questions, comments in the third reading? All in favor? Carried. Okay, number 15, where's the mayor? CAO's administration update. Mr. Grant, are you gonna run with that, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On behalf of CAO Nicholson, I'll highlight a few areas, if you don't mind. So, I guess the first item is that starting in September, we're back to normal schedule. This will be the last meeting of a reduced summer schedule. Hopefully, council found that useful to reduce the number of meetings during that time period. With respect to the upcoming meeting schedule, the council will need to decide whether they're looking to hold the council meeting on Monday, September 30th, which is the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, or if they're looking to ship that to Tuesday, August 1st. So, or October 1st, my apologies. Not sure if there was any discussion with respect to that or not.
One little thing of discussion. So we just had a public meeting where we said the meeting was going to be on September 23rd. For the next council meeting for the decision to be made there.
Through the
Correct.
chair, that would
It's an oops, right?
need to update that because that's the board meeting.
Oh.
So we'll certainly make sure that
That's all right.
that's noted.
I just noticed that. So anyway,
150.
my opinion anyways, we needed you need direction on this. Doesn't matter to me either way, whichever council decides. I'm okay with either of those two dates, so no problem with mine, that's fine.
I'm fine.
Monday.
I'm fine with either. Monday works, whatever works for the table.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Next item with respect to Treasury, just update the substantial completion of the County Road 2 project. We filed the final report to receive the holdback and through that ICIP grant, and it's in the it's being processed now. Just a couple minor items remaining. I know that the mayor had mentioned previously on the at the east end of the project on the south side where there was some asphalt removed that was supposed to be reinstated with concrete at the time. So we're working with the contractor to determine whether that will be concrete or they'll redo that with asphalt. But we'll certainly have that fixed before the winter season, so it won't impact the road surface at all. With respect to the final tax bills, they were sent out, and just a reminder that the due date is August 30th. Under Treasury as well, with the ADP, the payroll system, I think that the rollout has been good, and I think that the majority of staff are onto the system and enjoying the move to digital from the paper copy system. With respect to facilities and recreation, I'm not going to try not to put the manager of Parks, Recreation and Facilities on the spot, but maybe it's been quite a busy month in August. I'm not sure if you'd like to highlight a few of those areas so I don't miss anything.
Thank you for the chair. Just indicating that our camps and pool programs finished on Friday. The Cardinal Pool will remain open this week from 12 to 4 for public swimming. Bluegrass Festival was successful. They were extremely pleased with the support that they had from township staff throughout the course of the week and the weekend. Gallup Canal, I know I sent out pictures to the members of council on that, but just a special thanks to the Canada Dive Club for their underwater cleanup 2 weeks ago on the Sunday. We were able to tuck away quite a bit of garbage, which was disappointing on one sense, but also rewarding on another that it's cleaned up and out of the water. But there still is more down there. I spoke to one of the divers over the weekend, so there's no plans to go back again this year, but there definitely is more down there. Just quickly talking about the pickleball courts, they're being used daily and in the evenings as well, which good uptake. The Bass Pro Derby went successfully this past weekend. Staff were on hand to facilitate the moving of the boats from the water up to the arena for the parking, and then at the end of the day, them getting their boats back out of the water, and the transformation went seamless. I know the deputy mayor was there. Special thanks to Steve for organizing the kids giveaway for the drinks and the hot dogs, and the mayor as well was there. South Nation Conservation had a fishing derby 2 weeks ago as a 2-day event down at the waterfront, and it was very successful on their part. The Gridiron Arena, we turned the plant on, last week, started flooding on Saturday morning, and the first rental is, this upcoming Monday. Just a quick update, not an update, but a new program, the New Horizons Seniors Program. This is a grant application that we've applied for about 6 months ago. We received the funding about 3 months ago, but we've been working with them to facilitate putting the program together. So it will be a new venture program for seniors, basically a introduction to the internet and the introduction to small computer programs. There'll be 2 different dates for a 6-week program. It'll be Wednesday nights and a Thursday morning. One will be at the Gridiron Arena, and the other one will be at the Oliver. So more information will be coming on that over the next couple of weeks. But it is a free program for the seniors to note for ones that are having issues and aren't computer savvy, or whatever we do. And then there's also new funding for the community sports recreation infrastructure funding, and we will be looking to fill out a grant application for the Splash Pad here in Council.
Thank you. I'll continue on, Mr. Chair.
Please.
So with respect to operations under Public Works, Weir Bridge progressing reasonably well, considering some of the weather that we've had. Probably estimate that right now on the work schedule we're about 2 weeks behind. They were paving there today, and they should be switching over to the west side by the end of this week. So we should be in good shape probably for mid to late October to have that Weir Bridge complete and back operational. Jordan Road, the culvert replacement. This is a full road closure that we were anticipating to be 1 week with the precipitation and some of the equipment breakdowns with the contractor. We've extended it a 2nd week, and then near the end, late last week, they had asked for 1 additional week. We anticipate that this the triple culvert will be installed and the road back open before Friday. So it's become a little more challenging than originally anticipated. With respect to Totem Ranch Road, just an update that they were on site today and begun the paving operations. With the overall roads program, 2nd Street from Sophia to Mary, the asphalt work is complete. Sophia from 2nd to Albert Street, asphalt complete. The crew was on Cedar Grove Road Friday and completed paving. I believe from last report that Armstrong Road is anticipated to be paved later this week, and the crew has mobilized on Reed Street, the subcontractor working at daylighting the water service lines this week. The remainder of our road program should be completed in September and October. With respect to the road patrol app, so staff has been working with Citywide to update and each segment of road where we started, where we would have potentially went a further distance. We needed to link that up with the GIS, so we've had to add some additional assets. We also had to add county assets for the purpose of the road patrol asset only, so that it will not impact the financial end of it, but it's just noted so that the road patrol app will function properly. So it's been a good verification and review process that's coming to a completion, and we anticipate to have that road patrol app fully operational for this winter season. Be remiss if I didn't thank all the departments that assisted. We did a cleanup in and around that tower area. It had been some time with some items that maybe sadly predate my start with the organization, so certainly thank everybody for their effort, and we've got a little bit more work to do to get that back into to a manageable state. Tree removals, just had received an update this afternoon from the contractor. Anticipates to have all the trees down by midweek, and stump removals done by next week. So that's good news. And then typically our ongoing activities continue on. Operations, environmental services. So two of the main capital projects were completed last week. The splitter box lining was done, and replacement of the flow meter device at the Spencer Lagoon. Also on July 23rd, we had an unannounced inspection for the Cardinal and Industrial Park drinking water systems. Since the beginning of COVID, they have not done unannounced inspections due to different protocols, but they are starting to return to the typical protocols. So about every second to third inspection is an unannounced. They give about an hour's notice, indicating we're leaving Kingston, we'll be there in an hour and a half, and they do their inspection. Fire department under HR on Saturday, October 5th, there'll be a firefighter for a day program, which is sort of a little bit of a takeoff of the women's boot camp, where you get to sort of do a few tasks, and maybe that may attract some additional personnel to put forward some applications. Somewhat long overdue, the Ontario Fire College has opened the learning portal, where each individual will have a unique login where they can track their progress through that certification, and actually apply online for additional training programs that would still be required to be approved by the fire chief. All apparatus have received their annual service and MTO inspections. Pumper 1 had new rear brakes placed on there. And I guess of other note would be that the fire protection grant application has been submitted for the purchase of a gear washer and dryer for Station 2. So, on behalf of CAO Nicholson, I'll turn the report back over, and I will attempt to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions, comments, Mr. Smell?
I have a couple questions I'd like to ask.
Would you please go ahead?
Mr. Grant, the Public Works Department, Helen Street was dug up last year. I was wondering if they're going to continue. Are they going to pave that this year before winter?
Through the chair, yes, that is overdue to be paved. We're working right now at getting some of the patching together and done within the next month or 2 months.
And I just have a comment other than a question to the Director of Operations. I went over by the town garage, and you did a fantastic job cleaning up around the tower and stuff like that. Looks like $1 million over there now. Great job, you and whoever helped you.
Through the chair, I will certainly thank the staff that did the bulk of the work.
That's it for me.
Mr. Martel.
Through the chair, just a comment on the Bluegrass Festival. I was in Spencerville early in the week afterwards, and talking to a retailer who was just raving about the extra traffic in town. So huge shout out to the Bluegrass people and appreciation. It is. I think we take it for granted because it's been going on, but it really pumps some
good excitement
into the village.
Good to hear. Mr. Mayor.
Yeah,
oh, hi.
Hi. My apologies. I was in Prescott for a physician recruitment discussion with David Matthews from the Prescott Family Medical Health Team, and a very quick school discussion as well. So my apologies for being late, Chair. I don't have any questions, just regarding how busy it's been over the last several months. or the last 2 months, I guess. And you can certainly see the work that's being done there by staff. And I certainly want to extend, you talked Bluegrass Festival, I have it in my mayor's report for Bluegrass Festival and Bait Fuel and the great work that, the staff is doing. I know I've said this before, I say it in all my posts, but fantastic work by everyone involved, and everything's looking fantastic. And while it is so busy, it's good to see that we're keeping up, with everything. I noticed there's job postings all the time, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to get those filled. That's it.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And Mr. Warren.
No,
Okay.
I guess I was gonna say these things and have the mayor echo me, but in this case, we had the same thoughts. So no, I was gonna reach out basically individually, to you, Mike, for all the work the rec department has done. Such a fabulous job of making the township look good and look like we're open for play, and I think a lot of people are appreciating that. I'm hearing it from people, and that's a good thing. And then obviously the roads are getting done really well, and so it just looks great around here. And I think there's been a lot of work, and and one thing that sort of didn't get mentioned, but I saw that and I thought what a great idea was from the fire department on the notes there, going out and basically spraying the kids. I mean, having fun with the kids at the camps and at the schools for the last little while. I just thought, what a great job. And it's just showing that, we're, I think that represents what council essentially, his feeling is that, we're really trying to make it so people are aware we're here to play. And I think that's what I'm happy to say. Thanks a lot for doing all that fine work. So
go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
One more quick one.
Absolutely.
And I just looked over and saw Mary there, and I was late, and my apologies, and welcome to the table. Welcome to the group. It's great to have you here. Looking forward. I've already seen some of your work coming out, but looking forward to having you as part of the team for a while here at the township. So thank you for that. And I did miss, and I know it's probably not part of this discussion, but I look forward to, we were talking about pickleball courts. You mentioned pickleball courts, and the programming ends this week, I guess, ended last week for the swimming programs and stuff, and to the guards and stuff that were there, fantastic on their behalf. And I look forward to seeing the numbers and seeing how everything is moving forward. Yeah, now I'm done. I promise.
I can't say anything because they said it all, but Mike, well done on the fishing derby the other day. Well organized. So Bluegrass, I know the people who run it, they were very, very happy of all the work that we did, washing, garbage pickup, so on and so forth. So, I mean, just a great, passing on to their hard work, all the staff, because it sure was a team effort. And
so it's good.
Everything, the pools, the road, and again, passing on to operations manager, well done organizing all of our roads being paved and so on and so forth. Everything just seems to be falling into place. Like we said, it's a good place to live, work, and play, and we want to continue to do that. So, and welcome aboard. Just ask Mary. I'm glad that you're here. I got lots for you. So. And yes, Mr. Grant, you go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was remiss to update on an opportunity that has come to light today with respect to Ingredion. They will be doing their main parking lot and also the parking lot where the trailers park on James Street. In conversation, there may be an opportunity for us to do some work on James Street where they would cover 50% of the paving costs. So obviously that was not in the original budget for this year. We're going to we've got our camera work done because this was anticipated to be potentially a 2025 or a 2026 project, but I think as long as the camera work comes back that the sewer main is in reasonable shape that can be lined, I think we'll try to put together a package so that we can get that work done And I think we'll bring something to committee, but it's probably going to happen in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So I think worst case scenario, it may be that we look to take a little bit from reserves and then in 2025 top that back up. It seems sort of like too good of an opportunity to pass up, where we may be in 50 cent dollars, and they are the major user in and around that area, and I think that they want to contribute to that resurfacing. So it's sort of in flux. There are still a few items that we have to answer, but I just wanted to sort of provide you a heads up on that part, and that we gave them the okay. I'm dating myself again to the old tennis court area at the corner of John and E Street. They'll put a little gravel down on the hill so that they can use that for employee parking during the time when they're doing the parking lots. So it'll be noted that that's agreed on employee parking temporarily. So just in case a resident or two may approach and say what's going on, it's a small temporary item, but I think it's a good partnership to continue.
Good.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Quite welcome, Mr. Grant. I have to go back to the New Horizons Senior Program grant. Mr. Spencer, we have it's a 2 6-week program, which is great, and it's in Johnstown and in at the Greenwich Center in Cardinal Arena. Is there any way it can be out here in Cardinal at the library, maybe?
And where in Cardinal, sorry?
At the Spencerville Library.
Yeah, we'll be looking, so we're running it in October, November, and then again in 1st of February, or sorry, the last 2 weeks of January and the month of February. So one of those sessions will be out here during that time.
Great. I'm glad to hear that. We'll have to get all 3 in. Good. Yep. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Who has the motion? Go ahead, Mr. Martel.
Moved by myself, second by Councillor Waddy Smale, that municipal council receives the CAO's administrative report as presented.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Okay, moving on to council inquiries and notes of motion. Number 16, go ahead, Mr. Martel, you're on.
Through the chair, I have had concerns from multiple residents in Cardinal about safety issues crossing Highway number 2. Can we possibly open up a discussion at some point in the near future about partnering with the county and maybe see what we can do with a crosswalk or some lights or something to make that a little bit safer?
Isn't there a flashing light there now or something?
It's flashing for crossing.
Yes.
Caution, crossing.
But it doesn't light up like Prescott, eh? Where
Well, it's right on the road, it flashes constantly.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Grant again. I'm ever happy I have you here tonight. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, correct. There is a pedestrian crossing sign at Dishaw Street. That was done probably, I'm going to say 8 years ago. It has some limitations. It continuously flashes. So have reached out with respect to seeing about getting a more sophisticated pedestrian crossing at that location. Part of the County Road 2 work did place some underground conduit for potential future crossing if a solar option wasn't possible. So hopefully we can have something September. If not, it'll be October, and probably for the 2025 budget to get something installed.
So if I may, through the chair to the director of operations, the concern I got last week was a lady said that she saw a young boy almost get hit at the corner of number 2 and Dundas, like heading down to Legion Way. So that maybe they could, some of the thought process might be moving that crosswalk up so that Cause if you're on Dundas, you gotta walk all the way down the library cross and walk all the way back up to go to Legion, correct?
If I may, can I jump in quick?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a notice of motion. It's a request for a discussion item, not a debate, so let's
Carry on.
Yeah,
We'll have something.
get it on and yeah, we'll have that discussion when it's done.
Any other council inquiries or notice of motions? Yes, go ahead, Mr. Smith, you're on.
Thank you, your worship. Through the worship to the Director of Operations, I'd like an item, a discussion item put up forward. Residents in Johnstown would like a 40 kilometers an hour, 40-kilometer speed zone, thanks. Sign put up at the end between Sutton and Sophia. Because the new traffic there, the new pavement there is kind of hard to slow them down.
Well, what is it? What's the speed limit now? 40?
I think through the chair, that there will be a broader discussion item coming either September or October. That's already in the works with respect to determining
speed limits,
speeds and stop signs with respect to that area.
Thank you.
One more.
Yes, sure.
Down at the Legion Way heading west, twice this week I've had 2 people complain to me because it's a dead end. They can't get out. So they have to back all the way up. They go all the way down to where the divers are. Then they back up and they got to turn in that little section. I just wonder if we put a dead end zone or a no exit zone sign up. These are people coming to visit Cardinals, so.
Let's put that discussion on.
Leave that with staff.
Leave that with staff with the speed
The
limit.
chair will look at it.
Can we count on that, Mr. Grant? Thank you so much. Anything else, Mr. Smith?
No, I'm good. Let's see if we get through.
Oh,
That's
no,
good.
you're doing good. Mr. Mayor?
I have one quick one, and it was with some concern this past week. Listening to our neighbor from Augusta, Mayor Shaver, talking on the Bruce Wiley show about closing or relocating Maynard School and making a delegation about opening a new school. And I know this community's been through a lot during the closure of Benson and potentially Centennial and Edwards South in Johnstown. And so what I would like brought forward as a discussion, and I hope that we can pass a resolution that somehow supports our schools and that Edwardsburg Cardinal has no interest in, this would be my hope anyways, would be my notice of motion, of being part of a new school opening on the other side of Prescott and the removal of our schools. I want to dip my feet into that, but I feel that discussion's coming whether we like it or not. And I'd like this group to at least say how they stand on it. I know how I stand on it. I've toured Swift Waters. It's a fantastic school. But I think the 2 schools we have offer excellent service to the communities we have, and I'd like to see them go. So for a discussion item.
Thank you.
Mr. Ward, good, thanks.
Okay. Moving on. Number 17, Mayor's report.
That would be me, your worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Joe Martel, that the municipal council receives the mayor report as presented.
Yeah, so short and sweet, certainly a very busy schedule. Continue for myself. I know a deputy mayor goes to like a zillion events on my behalf. I continue to work with the counties. It's a crazy schedule. The health unit schedule, that work all continues. If there's ever any interest in knowing what it is, feel free to reach out to me as a council. The meeting minutes the meetings are all videoed and they're all on the county's website. Like I said, why I was late, we met with Denny Matthews today to discuss the Prescott Family Health Team and physician recruitment and retention. AMO certainly was a busy weekend. There was a lot of learning to be done, tons of meetings, lots of delegations. I think the main delegation that I was part of was certainly the use of county's child care dollars. I know that was on the meeting tonight. I think a support resolution for it, to use county dollars to support the CWELC or the QUELC potential growth in Johnstown, for those childcare spots. Congratulations, I think you said earlier, and I know you would have talked about it as well, but the Spencerville Bluegrass Festival, certainly a beehive buzzing when that group is in town. Spencerville's a fantastically busy spot at the best of days, and that just seems to add to it. And you're right, the economic impact is enormous, right? So fantastic work on all of their parts, and sounds like they've got a good lineup and a big group coming back for next year. Steve, I'll steal your thunder a little bit. Bait Fuel, was fantastic again this year, and you continue to push them hard and continue to try to work with them, and you don't get enough slaps on the back for that, but well done to that. And I know that you've got a confirmation for them for next year, and that I think that event's only going to grow and grow and grow and get better and better and better, and you keep doing a fantastic job on it. So well done. Looking forward to a crazy busy Labor Day weekend in Cardinal. I know this group is meeting, I think, to get a float ready. I think we've committed to putting a float in. So looking forward to that. I know I've seen the festival committee looking for volunteers. So just throwing it out there, not to this group, but to public that may happen to see this before the weekend. They are looking for volunteers. We certainly encourage anyone who wants to volunteer, put their name forward. I think other than that, and the school discussion I just mentioned. So other than that, I've missed a ton of stuff, but that's about all I got, Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Oh, and by the way, out of 50 children, first 50 children on the, we gave away 30. So first time, it was well done. Yeah, thanks very much. Just ask me. Thanks. Okay, getting on the mayor's report. Are you done, Mr. Mayor?
I think that's it. Yep.
Okay.
Unless you have anything that you want to add to it. Sure.
Oh, fine. Good. Number 18, question period.
Call a question.
Oh, sorry. I need all in favor of the mayor's report. Carried. Question period. Mr. Hello? Any questions?
Just a comment to say thank you for the support. I brought the two letters that I received to Councillor Dillabar and Councillor Martel, and I just have to say thank you. I also brought the two letters to Ontario Federation of Agriculture, and I just got a text back. It's Brent Cameron is the OFA person, my contact here, and his comment at 5:15 this afternoon or so, it says, "Hi Ray, last week at AMO, which was their
we were there. Yep.
Okay, you guys were there.
Yeah.
I met with Daniel Salvador. I don't know if that rings a bell with you guys or not. CN Rail, Senior Manager, Incident Management and Safety. He now has the two letters, which you guys have also. And he's going to do a follow-up meeting next week to try to get this resolved. Likely go one of three ways: exemption, delay / deferred, and or support from the Railway Safety Improvement Program. It just says I'm not alone, and I will be in touch and give you more information. I thank them for his support, and that's where we're at right now. So,
yeah. And I've been following up with Mr. Barrett's office, so yeah, I'm not going to let that down.
Mr. Barrett's office and Mr. Park's office.
It's just a little. It's funny because some of you guys got letters, some didn't. So
yes. And I think that the number of 96 that you have received is much smaller, or, much smaller than what it actually is. So,
well, I'm just going by his facts, what he told me. Yeah, so
but I have to say thank you to the council and the mayor.
We're not done yet.
Doing what you've been doing. And
we won't let this one go.
Oh, Thank you. Anything else, Good. Okay, people, we are, oh no, I can't even adjourn, can we? We're gonna have a closed session.
We'll do it after, well, when we come, do you want me to take the chair before we go into closed session?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
God, I want to.
So if,
that one more.
do we have to vote on me assuming the chair, or do I just assume that? Okay.
Carefully ask for that.
I may not win the vote. I heard you had the meeting rocking, Steve, so I may lose this one. All right, so is there a motion then? On my.
I have a motion. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Waddy Smail. The municipal council proceeds into closed session at 8:01 p.m. in order to address a matter pertaining to 8:03 p.m. Pardon me. For the deputy mayor's phone, pertaining to A, section 239 2B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, specifically Byers Road property. Section 239 2C, proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, specifically Byers Road property. And section 239 2B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, specifically approved minutes of closed session dated July 22nd, 2024.
Thank you.
All right, so motion to move into closed session. Is there a discussion on the motion before we go into closed? Or before I call the question? Seeing none, then I'll call the question to go into closed. All in favor? Of course we are. So we're in closed, and we'll take a 5 or 7 minute break before.
Thank you. Nice Wendy. 6 o'clock. See you. Just ask me to sign this.
Okay, I'll check.
Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Waddy Smail that the closed meeting of municipal council does now adjourn and the opening meeting does now resume at 8:54 p.m.
Perfect, thank you. All in favor of coming back into open session? Good. Reporting out of closed session. Council met in closed session, discuss section 239 2B and C and provided direction to staff. We also discussed minutes, and I believe there's a motion for the minutes.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Waddy Smail, that municipal council receives and approves the minutes of the closed session dated July 22nd, 2024.
Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? Good. And then we are back to open report out confirmation bylaw. What is the confirmation bylaw? Councillor Smail, you bring forward.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Joe Martel, that a bylaw to adopt, confirm, and ratify matters dealt with by resolution be now passed, signed, sealed, and number 2024-47.
Good, thank you. Discussion on the confirmation bylaw, if any. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? And we'll move on to adjournment. Who has adjournment?
I have adjournment. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Waddy Smail that municipal council does now adjourn at 8:55 p.m. Thank you.
All right, adjournment non-debatable. I'll call the question on adjournment. All in favor? Good, we are adjourned.
Second.